Hey squirrels, neurokin, and returning viewers. Tonight we're talking about something that's been brewing for a while. What happened to BODi? The rebrand from Beachbody and Autumn Calabrese's big I didn't know moment. Insert eye roll of a lifetime here. What the hell was Carl Daikeler thinking other than the ship is sinking? The transition from MLM to affiliate model is a massive shift, and the way it was communicated, atrocious, embarrassing, and potentially a business killer. We can only hope. Chaos, confusing, and in my opinion, calculated. So grab a drink, grab a snack, a lint roller, and maybe a kazoo, and let's break this down together.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us.
So we're going to walk through this podcast episode between Autumn Calabrese and Donald, what is his name? Sumter, something like that. I know the BODi fans / mortal enemies are going to know his last name, and I hope you drop it in the comments. Please, dear God, help me out. They're going to talk about the shutdown of Beachbody / BODi. It's Beachbody On Demand Interactive, so let's just call it what it is. It's Beachbody, okay? The Beachbody network, how it impacted their launches, and what it really meant for partners who had built their livelihoods under the MLM model. So let's get into it.
We got a lot of alcohol left over. We need another party.
Yeah, we might drink a little after this.
This is the one we should have pulled it out for. It is the episode you guys have all been asking for, the most requested one since we announced that we were doing this podcast. What happened to BODi? Hi.
Hey, boo.
Hi, boo. Welcome back. First episode of being 40.
I know. I don't look a day over
Don't.
39. Thank you. I feel amazing. Like, we just had my 40th birthday. That's not what we're here to talk about today, but it was the most amazing birthday I've ever had. You threw it for me, and it was just next level.
We partied like rock stars.
We sure did.
I sure did pay that price. Let me tell you, the
I was like,
next
oh.
day.
I was screaming the whole time. I'm like, was I just literally screaming at the top of my lungs to everyone? Because the next day I was like, oh, I can barely speak.
No, seriously. I had like no voice. I felt like somebody took 2x4s to my legs. I was like, I haven't moved my hips like that in a hot second.
I got in the hot tub last night. I was like, oh, I need a soak. Somebody bring me some Epsom salt fast.
Stat. What happened to BODi?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it. It's been like 9 months since the shift happened, since the change happened. I've avoided it like the plague. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, for me, it's like, I know that it was something that so many people had so many different emotions about. And for the first several months, there were a lot of moving parts to that. And so a mix of trying to be respectful, and I'm a chronic people pleaser. So I never want to say anything that's really going to upset anyone. And so that's part of the reason I didn't really say a lot. I did on my social media right away just to encourage and remind people that I'm still here. The faces you've connected with are still here, because a lot of people immediately were just very unsure what was going to happen. So
Yeah.
let's get into what happened. At
Yeah.
least, and it's our perspective and our experience.
Yes.
We don't have some written statement from BODi or something like that.
No, or anybody else. But
Right.
I will say for me, there was just when the shift happened and the announcement came, God, there were so many emotions all at once and so many moving parts all at once that, like, you know me, I'm a stuff it down and get the job done. And it was like, I was about to launch Belvital. Like, I had literally just come off set. So I think for me, there was no time to truly process shifts and changes and everything, like the implications that it was about to have. So I needed a minute.
So you literally just got off set?
When I say just got off set, the announcement came 2 hours after we wrapped.
Wow.
I walked into my kitchen. I had no idea an announcement about anything had been made. And I was wondering where my background cast was, because they were coming over too. And I'm like texting and calling, like, where are you guys? And it was hysteria of like, there's a video out. This announcement just happened. And I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like,
so, and I just got to say, as someone who has been in several programs, the day that you wrap is like a celebration. It's like, we did that. You feel accomplished. You feel like you can conquer the world. You're ready to take this product you just finished creating and present it to everyone, help all these people. You're on cloud nine. So I can only imagine. I wasn't in Belvital. I tried, but I didn't fit. I'm just kidding. For women's
women's
health. Yeah, I was like,
You didn't
I'm
make the
sure I
cut.
can find a way. But I can only imagine. So let me ask you, because I get that you didn't know that announcement was coming at that moment. People see you really as like the queen of Beachbody, now BODi. Did you know it was happening and you just didn't know when? Like, were you surprised just that it happened that day, or did you actually not know that it was going to happen?
I had no clue it was happening.
Autumn. You had no clue it was going to happen? You had no clue?
After all these years and you had no clue.
You had no clue? So, okay, just back it up a little bit. So the video starts with them, Autumn and Donald, joking about having alcohol left over and needing another party. I mean, sure, but tone check. This is your most requested podcast because people lost their income, their community, and a major part of their identity, and we're opening with, we might drink after this. Okay, right away, I feel like this sets the stage for deflection and vibe curation. It's more about appearing chill and relatable than actually being transparent or accountable, but that's neither here nor there. Also, there's a whole birthday shout out. Congrats on turning 40, Donald. Seriously, but this is a video people are clicking on because their lives were disrupted, their paychecks were disrupted. I mean, sure, I don't like MLM. I think we all know that. I'm an anti-MLM, anti-cult, anti-scam, religious
Bleep, bloop, 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 bloop.
free channel. Don't worry, I'll bleep that out because I don't curse on the recorded video. If you like the cursey words, you can come over to the live videos, but maybe less cake, more clarity. I do not believe for 1 second that Autumn didn't know. That's just my opinion. It's interesting that Miss Autumn Calabrese herself, the lady who never takes a break, in my opinion, who tells people, hey, even though the doctor told me to take it easy after my surgery for my redoing of my stuff, I'm going to go and ignore the medical doctor who went to school. I'm just going to, continue to work out because I know better than somebody who has a degree. Or tell my people, all the people who watch my videos, who take my nutrition advice, all those individuals follow me even just because I read a lot. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Autumn, tell us more. I'm scared to press play. I literally am so scared to press play right now. Oh.
0. And this is something that people keep saying, like, Autumn knew. It's insane. There's a million reasons. Like, I had no idea that the Coach Network was going away. Here's what I will say. I know that it had been being talked about, whether or not we were keeping the coach network or it was going to get moved to an affiliate model. We had...
Okay, I'm sorry. You literally just, I know I was supposed to wait like 3 to 5 minutes because I'm trying to be better about this. I'm trying not to run my mouth as much. No, you just said you had no idea. And then literally 10 seconds later, you were like, I had heard it being talked about. What? Just somebody tell me the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Somebody tell my little autistic heart the truth. Somebody take pity on me and tell me the truth. I had no idea. No idea means you had no idea. And then you said, oh, well, I heard a little bit. A little bit doesn't really fit into the category of no idea. A little idea, you had a little idea. You had a little idea. I hate it here. I literally hate it here.
This thing called the PAB, the Partner Advisory Board. So there's 10 partners that sit on this board. It rotates every 2 years. They're selected based on their involvement in the company. And it's the partner, those 10 partners who kind of represent all the other partners. And then the like corporate. So CEO, head of the partner network, things like that. There are no trainers on that board. We have never been invited to sit in those meetings at all. Those people, they know way more about what's going on in the company than any trainer does. And it had been being discussed in those meetings.
Okay.
I know that because I know people that were on the PAB. But no, I had no clue. Like, let me just say this. I'm a pretty smart businesswoman. I would have made...
Stop. A trainer has never been on the board, but I knew people on the board. Some of your best friends are coaches. Coaches were independent contractors in Beachbody, but have since left to go to other multi-level marketing companies. Tell on yourself more, Autumn.
Like, okay, let me be blunt. I got fucked 7 ways from Sunday on the launch of Belvital because the coach network went away.
Yeah.
I would have changed so many things if I would have known
that announcement was
that was going to happen. Not only that, we're a public company. They would never in a million years take that risk of telling me, because even if I hinted at something, it could have been disastrous for everybody.
And you, like myself too, maybe if you're listening, you might not know that I was a BODi partner before I ever met Autumn. So outside of just being a cast member, I was a part of the partner network, and a part of the partner network that I think represents a little bit more of the masses. Even though I was friends with people who were very high up in it, I was never that. I never was that high up in my ranking as a partner. But you were friends with so many partners. So you would have been thinking of it now like the worst person to tell, because you would have been thinking the desire to tell your friends, even if, but yeah.
Like, how would I get through filming?
Yeah.
With 2 people I care very much about, having that information in my brain. Here's what I can tell you. Here's what I did know. About a month earlier, I had gotten a call from legal, and we, like trainers, we had ambassador contracts. So like that, like they have to do with how we like sell like our supplements and things like that, and how often they'll request reels for us that they might boost into ads and things like that. So I got a call, and that I was losing that come December. So I think that call came maybe end of July, beginning of August, that my ambassador contract was going to go away in December. The ambassador contract is the only guaranteed money we have.
As trainers.
So a lot of us trainers rely on that because we have no clue what our paychecks are going to be month to month. None. Because it's based on something called qualified view. So how many people are working out to your programs, how many people are buying your programs, how many partners are selling your programs. There's no way for them to give us any kind of midway, mid-month, anything. So aside from like that ambassador contract, I can tell you my paychecks have fluctuated drastically in the last year and a half. And by fluctuated, I just mean declined. Unfortunately. And by the way, this isn't me knocking BODi. Like, I absolutely love the company. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
They've drastically declined, but this is not me knocking BODi. Am I misunderstanding what knocking BODi means? Autumn says she was blindsided by the shutdown, that she had no clue that people are wrong to think that she knew. Let's pause. This is classic plausible deniability. She says she knew there were conversations happening. She admits legal called her. She knew ambassador contracts were being cut. So to say, I had no clue, that's not transparency, that's brand protection. If you're in meetings with legal and still saying, I didn't know, you're not being honest. You're being strategic, ma'am. Also, Carl's gonna be pissed. And I bet Carl had a conversation with you after this podcast came out. This is a little bit old, obviously. I'm sure Carl was pissed.
Carl!
Carl. Autumn, don't you do it. You already don't. You already did it. You already did it.
This is just a part of business.
Yeah.
And the fitness industry has changed drastically in the last 4 years. But like, I'm literally trembling on the inside just trying to have this conversation. So I knew I was losing my ambassador contract, which was a chunk of money. I also had been told that layoffs were coming again, that another round of layoffs would happen after filming. And that was really devastating for me because I love the people I work with. And I didn't know who, like they wouldn't tell me who. They just told me another round was going to happen.
So
And
it's not you.
That was so hard because it's like, that was the one thing that was hard on wrap day because I was like, I know at some point there's going to be an announcement. I didn't know it was going to be on wrap day, but I knew it was going to be sometime soon after that layoffs would happen. And so it was like, as I'm leaving, I know I might not see these people again.
And you're talking about like not the
partners. No,
yeah,
I'm talking about
the
like
crew. Yeah.
Crew, product development, things like that. Like I didn't know who. I just knew a round of corporate layoffs were going to happen again. And that alone was hard.
Right.
To be like working with everybody every day and just being like, God.
I didn't give a shit
Bleep bloop.
about the partners, but I gave a little bit of a shit
Bleep bloop bloop.
about the full-time employees that I worked with. Tell us more. Tell us more, Autumn. That's not what she said, but that's what I was being snarky about.
God, this sucks. And it's just a part of business right now. Like it sucks. But no, I had zero clue that the Coach Network was going to go away. And I actually did end up sitting down with Carl like a week later and being like, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, I couldn't. Legally, I could not tell you. And I'm like, okay, but like I had 2 people in the cast, and this is not me talking bad about anybody. This is me saying I would have looked to protect everybody from every angle possible. Like, why did we put background cast behind me? Like, did you guys know you were going to do it that day? Like, oh my God, come on. Like at that point, why didn't you just tell me we couldn't afford background cast? And it was like anything we did that could have signaled that the network was going away. They're like, he said, he's like, we looked at it from every angle. And he's like, all I can do is apologize to you and tell you I'm sorry you got stuck in the middle. Sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, there was no way to tell me what was coming that might not have ended up signaling to other people that it was coming.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't know.
I was going to say, so
to answer people's questions, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was blindsided too. And
Maybe she was.
It came 2 hours after wrapping what was supposed to be the biggest program of my career that and by the way, I'm still so proud of Belvital. Like
Maybe she didn't know. Carl, if you didn't know this, let me paint this picture. Carl's at Summit. All the coaches are at Summit, maybe a little less than the year before. And he's doing his speech at Summit and how they're going to be going stronger than ever.
But if we hold firm and tap the true power of Arrakis, we could be stronger than ever.
What he's looking forward to, how Belvital's launching, how he's getting everyone excited about it, and that nothing's changing. Then all of a sudden, Coach Network's going away. They're all going affiliate. Blink of an eye. Several months later. So all the coaches jump ship to all different types of multi-level marketing companies because their incomes are gone. Carl is a chicken nugget. That is definitely an FU moment that he did, even though I don't like multi-level marketing. The fact that he played it because he is at the beck and call of his investors. And if you've ever listened to us react to one of the investors' calls and how they take him to task, and it was at one of these calls where he called the coaches of BODi the unsophisticated volunteer sales force. That was pretty wild of him to say, even though it felt a little disrespectful.
Might be disrespectful.
He definitely has a lot of words that he says about the coaches, the former coaches, that he wouldn't say to the coaches themselves. He says a lot of nicer words when they were coaches on the stages than he actually would say to the investors. What she just said was a lot. She got emotional. Autumn talks about how she felt the impact, the hate, the launch, the stress. I think she felt the pressure, but notice how fast the focus shifts to her pain, not the rep's pain, not the community, not the damage. Her launch was ruined. Her program was impacted. Heartbreak. Little broken heart. That's what I call emotional agility manipulation. In my opinion, what do I know? Shifting the focus from systemic harm to personal inconvenience to gain sympathy for herself. And look, you're allowed to grieve a failed launch, but when you're the face of a system that harmed people for years, you don't get to be the only victim in the room, in my opinion. I'm doing the thing that people do on videos that I'm not a fan of, but my rage is coming out and I'm not allowed to do like PG-13 with my fingers. So this is my G-rated flip off to all the fluffery and multi-level marketing, especially Carl Daikeler. Back to it. I'm recording with members right now, so they're seeing all of the pent-up rage. Also, how nervous I am to be recording after a while. I'm also sweating because I'm so nervous. Oh my God.
Of course.
But that was 2 years in the making. It was so much work. And then to get off of the set, and like we were supposed to be going out to dinner that night, celebrate, oh my God. And then this announcement happens, and I'm watching two people I care about sit at my table, and rightfully so, panic.
Yeah.
Panic about what does this mean for their future, for their financial stability. But you got to remember, I also am a smart businesswoman. So while it's happening, like I knew you had just signed a lease with Nell a few weeks earlier. And I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could have known this and told Donald, like, don't sign that lease.
Nell's only income at the time was as a BODi partner. Right.
But within a few hours of the announcement happening, the hate that started online towards BODi started pouring in, which I understand the panic. I do. But there are a few things I want to clear up, but let me get this thought out first. So like, I'm trying to process so many feelings in that moment. I'm trying to process the fact that I'm proud and we just wrapped and we're so close to launch. But at the same time, I'm watching my launch fall apart in an instant.
I'm watching my
hate spew. I'm watching people quickly say, fuck BODi, I'm out, da, da, da. And I'm like, I know what this means. I know what this means to the company. I know what this means to the launch of Belvital. Like, and I'm already starting to feel shifts in relationships, like instantly. But also, I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
You know this about me. Like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, I can't sit in the problem. I'm trying to sit in the solution. How can we make this great? What can we do? It's going to be okay. Like, so I do go into that mode instead of like
sitting in the sadness.
Yeah. Like, I go into fix it mode.
Yeah. I think there's pros and cons. Like, no one can handle a situation that totally takes them by surprise and has so many uncertainties. No one handles it perfect. And the fixer might try to over control, like manage, not let themselves feel their feels enough. But then, some people, like, I really don't know how I am in those situations. I think I go a little numb and keep doing business as usual, I think, but it's hard for me to plan. It's hard for me to mourn. It's like everything feels like it freezes a little bit, but everyone handles things differently. But you're the kind of person that's like, okay, pivot, let's make a plan. Pivot.
Well, and on top of it, right? So like, again, all these things are happening. And a week later, we're going on the cruise, like the corporate cruise. And I'm like, okay, like we're all about to be trapped on a boat at sea. Are people going to come? Are people going to even want to hear anything? Because the announcement, just to be clear, was the MLM part of the business was being dissolved, going away. And we were moving to affiliate marketing instead of MLM marketing. So I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah.
And I
just want to make that clear. No shit.
Bloop, bloop.
Imagine, you don't have to imagine, immediately everybody knows in multi-level marketing, it's commission based only. Unless you're a top leader and you get a bridge contract. Okay. Everyone knows immediately when you sent a waft of a smell that MLM's going away, you're sprinting for another MLM because you have to start bringing in a new income opportunity that not only appeals to you, but it appeals to your entire downline because you have to, without threat of suit, bring your entire downline with you. I said without threat of suit because if you get sued to hell in a handbasket, you're double screwed. Not only do you not have an income, your old company is going to suck you dry like a vampire.
Jake, I'm sorry my son jumped on you and bit your neck and tried to suck your blood.
Every single market partner, coach, independent contractor, and BODi who was not stoked about affiliate because who had been practicing actually selling to customers for the past, I don't know, however long BODi had been doing MLM, which I don't know how many people had been selling to actual customers. I think the independent contractors were the glorified reps. But that's just me. Affiliate was not it. They went to Shackley. They went to Amare. People who view this video, if any, let me know where they went. They went to different health and wellness companies that is slipping my mind right now. They went to a lot. Shackley was an established company. Yes, they went November 1st, 2024, they went affiliate. But all those reps who jumped ship, well, they jumped ship and then they went on the cruise that they earned, and they were working, according to Scotty Hobbs. Scotty Hobbs was working 12-hour days on the cruise, recruiting people into the company that he decided to join, and he joined a company next day. Oh, he went to Justin Prince. Didn't he go to Justin Prince's company, Make Wellness? Or no? Now, Autumn talks about ambassador contracts, qualified views, and income stability. But here's the thing. MLMs are designed to be unstable unless you're at the top. This isn't a glitch in the system. It is the system. Also, not once does she say this model was predatory. Not once does she say people made pennies while I got the spotlight, and saying I'm not knocking BODi while low-key admitting it was chaotic. It's interesting branding.
I'm going to clear up a few things that I've seen said multiple times that I'm like, that's not entirely accurate. And well, or that's just inaccurate. And I feel like some things were said to maybe make BODi look bad, or because again, panic, hurt feelings, fear, all of that. But like, I saw a lot of people saying like, our money was taken away, our jobs were taken away. And please understand, you guys, I very much can feel for, empathize, sympathize for everything that was happening, right? For everybody that was how they built their business, the fact that that was changing drastically and changing quickly. But I saw it positioned as if to imply that like MLM, like the MLM's gone and you're out of a job and there's no more and you're done. And the partner network stayed in place for 3 more months. So people could continue to run their business for the next 3 months as is. They were continuing to get paid as a partner the way they had always been paid for 3 more months, which, you know, that was Carl's choice doing,
you better
because
be grateful.
It was October. It was coming up on the holiday season. But I don't think what people realized was if that was the reason why the network was going away. There were a lot of people that hadn't been working the business in years that were taking, because of the way it was built, massive paychecks out, but without bringing any new income in. So a massive change had to be made because, again, the way that incomes got paid out and everything.
There was more money going out.
There was more money going out than coming in because so many people had like built these big teams and then weren't working it. And so they're taking these huge chunks, and there was a lot of people not making any money. And these were things that people were complaining about anyways. And so that's just the business side of it.
My
right?
God.
And I know because people pour their heart and soul into the company and loved it so much that obviously it was taken very personally, like a personal attack. And obviously this is not something that Carl wanted or anybody in the corporate side wanted. This was a business decision that had to be made to save the company as a whole.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Well, that is something that really bothered me. And I just want to be clear because of personal relationships and things. I saw someone post, and I'm talking about someone who I've never met in person. So not one of my friends involved or anything like that. I want to say who, but
I wonder if I know. Wait, go ahead. I don't know what you're going to say.
Well, someone posted online and just instigated as if it was a strategic plan and sort of a lot of people were inciting anger, and it bothered me because I was like, I felt like this is really unfortunate. I had just that year gone on my first success club, which after being a partner for as long as I was, I should have done that sooner, but Nell and I were together. I started feeling the fire. Mm-hmm. So for me, when that, and I was shocked. And, you know, you and I have been best of friends since I moved to LA for almost 8 years now, and very close. And we've had a lot of personal, difficult conversations, and when one of us are going through something. And so I was like, what? And I found out because one of the partner on my team messaged me and was like, oh my God, BODi's doing away with the partner network. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I might have actually gaslit the fuck out of her for a minute. But like, no, that's not happening.
Sorry.
And so I called Nell. Well, I actually had to teach a dance lesson. It was the longest dance lesson I've ever taught.
Gosh.
It was only 45 minutes, but I was like, this thing's never going to end. I don't know what's going on in the world outside of here. And then I called Nell and he was like, yeah, I'm just learning about it all. And so it was very like, I was as surprised as everybody else, and everyone has their different reasons of how it affected them. And so
wow.
when I saw someone post, like, imagine someone telling you we're in this together, until they've built something and then they take everything you built. And so what bothered me is that person was basically saying like that BODi did that on purpose to get ahead. And I knew from the beginning, even though I hated that it happened, it was a necessary, unfortunate decision. That's how I looked at it. Yeah. Like I don't think anyone wanted it, but
here's my issue. Here's one of my issues. Here's one of my issues. You made the system, Carl. You put that MLM, fine, I don't like MLM. You put that organization together, you put that monetary organization together for people to get paid, right? And then you said, oh my God, I didn't think this through to fruition and see how it played out in the long term. And now I'm throwing a fit because I cannot pay this out. But all of the people are paying monthly, but I didn't foresee someone taking advantage of the monetization and I cannot pay out. So I'm going to stop it. And then Autumn qualifies or validates Carl's decision and says, well, they're not bringing any new blood into the system, so why should they get to financially benefit from it? No. They got in, they put people in the spots that Carl created for them, and now Autumn says, oh, they shouldn't get paid because they're not bringing new bodies in. That wasn't one of the qualifiers in how the money works. That wasn't one of the qualifiers. I'm not pro MLM. I'm saying when you look at any type of compensation plan, that's not one of the qualifiers. It says you don't have to bring new blood in to get paid. Bring me a compensation plan that says that. Maybe there are some. If people pay into the system, if people buy monthly, you get paid commission. That's what it says. If reps in certain spots buy monthly, you get paid. These reps in BODi were in certain spots, bought monthly, the people in the upline got paid. And they strategically had people in certain spots. The top people should get paid. Carl Daikeler screwed himself because he didn't understand his own compensation plan 10 years in. And now Autumn's like, well, they should have brought new blood in. That's not what the compensation model said. Autumn. Now, they say, we still love BODi over and over and over again and frame the shift to affiliate as a win, but for who? Spoiler alert, not for the reps who lost downlines, income, and purpose overnight. This is classic MLM damage control. Rebrand the collapse as a better opportunity. Pretend the new model is for them, not for you. It's not transparency, it's spin.
It's like doing what you can. And I also have been in rooms where I've seen, dozens of people, sometimes even more, who've lost over 100 pounds stand up. And because I've been in programs, I've been in places where hundreds, if not thousands of strangers over a weekend come up to me and tell me their stories. I can't even contain all the stories I'm hearing, but it's because it was so life-changing. So for me, I was like, this really sucks because it looks different than what I wanted. And it looks different than what I was planning and what I was trying, and not just my vision, but the vision I was selling to other people.
Right.
But it still changed those people's lives. And I'm not going to talk shit about that because it did. And, I would do it all again.
Right. Well, two things I want to say. One is I obviously too was devastated that the network was going away. Like all of my friends were partners, like all of them. So of course my heart broke for everybody. Like, and I was so sad. Like I loved that side. I loved our big.
Donald is being way too compassionate and making me look really bad. So I'm going to play off what Donald is saying so that I can look good too, is what I think Autumn is doing right here. But continue, Autumn. Tell me more.
Events. I loved Summit. I love getting to go hear people's stories and celebrate them all weekend long or all week long. Like I was devastated
That's not what anybody that I've talked to said. Talk to Amy Ure. Ask Amy Ure what her experience with Autumn was at events, at Summit. Ask what Autumn's experience was when that new super trainer came who didn't look like what Autumn wanted super trainers to look like. It wasn't good.
That side was going away. And not just for me, but for everybody that it affected. But the other thing I wanted to say was, Tony Robbins teaches how to blame effectively. And I think it's so important to remember this. He says, if you're going to blame, you have to blame effectively. You have to blame wholly. So if you're going to blame for the bad, you also have to blame for all the good. Like I remember being at that seminar, and for me, that was like, I had to really take that in when it comes to like my childhood and parents. And like, if I'm going to blame them for all the crap, I also have to blame them for all of the good that has come from that. For me, learning what kind of parent I didn't want to be and the kind of mom I am today and the drive that I have for work. But I would say the same thing comes into play here. If you're going to blame and be mad at BODi for it going away, you're mad because there was something so great there. There was something that changed your life there, whether it was a health journey, weight loss journey, a financial journey. I mean, there are people that made millions and millions and millions of dollars. I know it was a small subset, and those are usually the ones that are the loudest because that's a massive change for them. But if you're going to blame that much for it going away, then you also have to remember to blame for all the good, all the traveling the world, learning how to build these teams so that you can go to other companies and continue to build that way, for meeting friends that you like would have never met if it weren't for the company, for your life or your family's life changing, for the income that you did make for however long that was. Like, so there's always both, where there's good, there's going to be bad, and where there's bad, there's going to be good. And what goes up must come down, and what is down is eventually going to go back up. So it was very heartbreaking to see so much negativity from people who had such amazing runs.
Autumn, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Is it too early for a migraine?
Tony Robbins is a charlatan. I think that some of the money he's raised is great, but the high control group tactics that he has used to continue to grab money from his conferences is awful. And the blame effectively approach that Autumn brings up in this part of her podcast, it's a no. I did P90X. I thought that program was great. I think that a lot of people liked P90X. I think that in P90X, the modified workouts were actually great because they didn't shame the modifier, that it actually allowed somebody who was doing the workout at home to be comfortable doing the modifier. I'm not sure about insanity, but I imagine that was probably the case too. As Autumn was brought in, and maybe Chalene Johnson, I've heard good things about that. As Autumn and other super trainers were brought in, and some of the older super trainers were transitioned out, I think it became more about aesthetics than it did about safe and this is in my opinion. I'm just here running my mouth. I think it became less about safe workouts than it did about aesthetics. And how could it have been when you had so many multi-level marketing independent contractors having to have testimonials of here's what I looked here's what I looked like at the beginning of the month. And here's what I looked like at the end of the month. And we had huge, almost influencer-like not super trainers, but influencers like Emily Favre teaching her team to buy 2 sizes too small of jeans, trying them on at the beginning of the month. Then, at the end of the month, using concealer on their abs and trying on the exact right size of jeans at the end of the month. And having an incredible transformation and getting a bunch of people to sign up because, of course, the eating and the workout was that incredible. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
No. P90X talking about being strong and being able to have flexibility to support your body and reduce injuries and not shaming the modifier because doing modifications to reduce injuries was what was important. And we look at Autumn, who cared more about being thin and eating less so you could be thin. What? And then to gaslight people who didn't like BODi and had huge things that were issues. Oh, guess what? You can't blame us without saying all the good things that happened. No, there were a bunch of shitty things that happened. And we can say that without having to say all these good things that happened. It doesn't have to be balanced. And you're saying it does have to be balanced. So sit down. And by the way, if you're in an MLM where you're doing before and afters, those have to have a disclaimer on them because you can be sued and your company can be sued.
With the company. And to not just go like, and the other thing that, I saw a lot of people saying was like, they're stealing our customers. I do want to clear up what that meant.
Okay.
it wasn't that BODi was coming in and just saying like, hey, we're going to affiliate marketing and we're taking every person you've ever sold to. Like I said, partners, and you correct me if I'm wrong because you were a partner. So if I'm saying something that is out of turn, please correct me.
Okay.
So the announcement happened. There was going to still be 3 months of being able to be a partner. And in fact, if people hit certain ranks, they didn't even have to hold any longer. Like a lot of times when you hit a certain rank, you have to hold for 7 weeks to get the bonus. It was like it was everybody that was already at that rank was getting locked in. So they were already guaranteed their bonuses. So that was like another thing that I thought, was super honorable from from the corporate side, but nobody was mentioning like, hey, by the way, because I hit this level a week ago, I don't even have to hold it for 7 weeks like I normally would. I'm guaranteed this big bonus. So because we're switching over to affiliate marketing, things happen on different platforms. Like we were moving over to something called Impact. There's just certain things that can happen in that app or on that site and certain things that couldn't. So if a customer were to buy from you, sign up from you, they're like now tied to you forever as a partner. When we were going to Impact, you basically needed to get all of those people to now use your new Impact link and your new discount code for you to then get paid. It wasn't like they could all be moved over.
Right.
If you didn't reach out to them or if they decided not to buy from you and decided to buy from somebody else, then no, under the new affiliate, you wouldn't get that sale. But it wasn't that, or if somebody was on an auto renew, if you didn't get them to cancel and rebuy with the new link essentially from Impact, then no, that auto renew would roll over to just going to BODi.
After the 3 months or whatever.
Or whatever it was, correct.
It was at least 3 months. I just don't remember if that even,
I don't remember all the specificity, but people did, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but within your partner back office, you had every email of every person you ever sold to. So you could download those emails, you could newsletter them, email them. Hey, we're switching over to affiliate marketing. I would really appreciate it. I've loved working with you. I want to continue to work with you. Here's my new link. I know it's a little bit of a pain, but like, if you cancel and blah, 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 like then you'll still be with me. So like those things could have happened. A lot of people did not stick around to even try the affiliate side. Yeah. It was literally like the announcement happened, anger, fear were out. And again, it was really hard. I can see how hard it was on everybody's side. But I was experiencing it too. And it was like, I don't know if it was just bad luck that I was the launch that was coming up.
Feels like pretty fucking bad luck.
I mean, it was pretty fucking bad luck. Like, let's be honest, because
can I say one more thing real quick about Autumn trying to connect with independent contractors, the former coaches of BODi, trying to be like, oh yeah, me too. I've been screwed over by Carl Daikeler too. Autumn has a multi-million-dollar vacation home in Florida, along with her super expensive home in California. So when she said, oh yeah, my income was dropping this past year as well. I mean, okay, show us your pay stubs. Show us what that income was dropping as well. Because a lot of the independent contractors, 99% of those independent contractors in BODi were not making any money, lose money, or going into debt in multi-level marketing. So, Miss Ma'am, that multi-million-dollar vacation home in Florida, okay. That super expensive home in California, okay. I mean, tell us the whole story, because right now it's a lie of omission. Stop it.
It was like I somehow turned into the bad guy. I don't know why, but it was like,
what?
I don't know.
I'm the victim.
Like, imagine pouring 2 years of your heart and soul into learning and creating a program that nobody else has ever done. Like there's all these little, take this pill for hormone health or do this thing for hormone health, but there's no comprehensive program. So I spent 2 years and all these people that have gone through the test group and all these people that cannot wait to get their hands on it. The announcement happens. They're like, we're out. We're not even sticking around for this affiliate thing. They're saying that BODi took away their way to make money, essentially implying that there was no way to keep selling, even though there was the affiliate side that was going to be there.
They weren't selling.
Than building a team, but there was the affiliate side. But then to watch those same people go to other companies that had already possibly gone through my program, so had all the information and all the details of what my program was, and I'm watching them post on Facebook and Instagram. I'm over here and we're starting our own hormone health program with Pilates. I mean, I literally saw it. Like, and I would have to screenshot it and send it to legal and be like, can we make sure that they're not knocking off Belvital? Because like that's 2 years of my hard work and the team's hard work and proprietary supplements and all this stuff. And like, it felt like such a direct attack. It was like they knew Belvital was coming and that might be a big thing that people wanted. And instead of being an affiliate and selling it, it was like, no, fuck you, BODi. We're going to knock it off instead.
The way they did the pre-launch for Belvital was the sloppiest, laziest thing that I've ever seen. Maybe not ever seen. There was Nueva. There was Firmaglow. So there was that. They did it through Facebook. So Autumn says people who left and launched hormone health programs were attacking her work. They weren't trying to sabotage you, Autumn. They were trying to survive. You can't preach empowerment and then villainize people for pivoting. You can't say do what's best for you and then call it betrayal when they do just that. This is control disguised as brand loyalty. But also, get in 2025 autumn, upload your stuff to an app, but also Carl can't afford that because I guess he was broke. Maybe call Calabrese and figure out who did his awful app and prevent your stuff from getting screenshot because y'all did it through fucking Facebook. They did it through Facebook. Jen B downloaded it. It was like a PDF. Come on, dude.
No, come on, dude.
I'm going to go over here to this other company and we're going to knock it off instead. And then I saw people using their before and afters from the test group and saying, and this is, I'm not talking about somebody that I'm close with. I'm talking about other people because I had a big test group. I had like 50 women that went over to other companies and were like, oh, come over here and do this 5-day hormone cleanse with me. And they're showing their before and afters. And I'm just like, this is why I say there's been a lot because it's like, I'm not allowed, like, I felt like I wasn't allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to have your feelings on it. We're allowed to do whatever we need by all means necessary to make our income back because BODi screwed us. Like, so I just was like, all I can do is my job.
Yeah.
And my job, by the way, in my eyes, is and always has been to help people improve their health. And that's what I'm always going to keep doing. That's that's my love. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. And so did it suck? Does it suck? Yeah. Like we should have been at Summit last week.
Right.
It still is hard.
Yeah.
But it's business.
Yeah. I think, in situations like this, it's hard because there's like just factual truths. And then when people say, well, this is my truth or this is my, what they're feeling. And so, I'm such an empath. It's really a mind fuck sometimes. But even though
I guess I want to go back again. Y'all remember when a little bit earlier on, Autumn was gaslighting people and she was saying, well, at least they got 3 months of pay. They were complaining, but at least they still got to get 3 months of the downline pay. Donald and Autumn were trying to calm everything down by saying people still got 3 months of pay. Okay, and this wasn't about the last check. It was about people waking up to find their entire income model wiped out overnight. And framing affiliate as a simple shift, it's a downgrade for 99% of reps. Let's not gaslight the math. It is frustrating to hear Autumn say, oh, I'm just the same as the independent contractors. I was screwed over too, but I'm more of a victim than they are. It's frustrating. It really is frustrating.
I get people's fear and frustration for the change. And even those words kind of feel like for some people, it doesn't do it justice. And, as a partner, I know that it's scary, and sometimes doing the scary thing changes you. And so when someone starts as a partner, it's scary to send the first message and then to tell people that you're starting doing this challenge group and you're starting a business and you're partnering with this company using their programs and products and you encourage other people to follow in your footsteps. And so if I really because I felt that, and being a BODi partner was never my main source of income.
Maybe it was
so when I think about what some people out there, people I've never met, just thinking literally about because at the height of it, there were 400,000 BODi coaches, partners. I know that it makes sense to go through the phases of loss. And one of those is anger.
Of course.
And to feel like your customers were stolen. But I also know. And so I just want to say that to validate the feelings that anyone out there had. I do think, and again, I'm talking about people that I don't know. There's a few people who I've only ever seen online who went really aggressive really fast. And I didn't like that, but also because I'm someone who BODi changed my life. And it's not just with a partner opportunity. It was doing your program the first time. Yeah. That's when I was like, oh, this is amazing. And so anyways, for me, it was really difficult because I was not going to stop doing BODi. To me, that was like, if it's there, I'm doing it. And also I'm so familiar with the programs. I was like, I'm not going to stop doing challenges. But I also really do empathize for anyone who really built a big network with BODi, how that felt in that moment. I do hope, and this is just for people's healing in general, that most of those people, because the fact is, the majority of partners in BODi were not very high up partners. Like there were a lot of people who were not even selling like I was. And so I hope that those people are still living their best life and they're maybe running challenge groups, because you can still run your own challenge group. You can do it for fun. You can, whatever, you can do it however you want. And you can use the affiliate program with BODi to share the programs and the products that you love, just like you always were. And so I hope that people are doing that, but I hope those who it really affected them losing the network partner opportunity, that they do feel that if that's what they love, that they found another place doing it. And maybe they're in hindsight like, okay, my worst case scenario fears didn't come true, and they can remember the years with BODi more fondly, because all I have are fond memories. And I'm still creating them. I'm still with BODi. I'm still
all you have are fond memories.
a part of that. But I mean, just thinking of that time, thinking of the summits and the super weekends and all of that energy, I'm holding on to that energy. And that's what I bring to the table still in my challenges. And people come up to me still and recognize me from being in programs. And like someone said to me once, it's a shame what happened with BODi. And I said, well, what happened? Like, I know what happened.
Oh,
but
stop.
I just wondered what she thought happened. And she said, well, I don't know, but I think it just changed. And I said, well, part of it has changed, but you need to know. I said, were you a BODi partner? She said, no. I said, well, it hasn't changed for you. There's still community. There's still programs. Everything that you loved about it is still there. So that's my truth. And I really do say that with holding space for everyone. But how could I be mad at something that changed my life this much for the better? The friends I've made, the experiences I've had, all the things. But without BODi, I would not be sitting in this chair. I probably wouldn't know you, and I might not live in LA.
And you wouldn't have your boyfriend.
My boyfriend. I mean, I don't know what would be going on in my life.
We're in the world with Donald B.
Yeah.
I do want to say, I hope that in trying to explain like all of this, right? It's like a messy.
Why is the trim cream and the shutters bright white? It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with multi-level marketing.
There's not an easy way to talk through it all. That it doesn't sound like I am dismissing anybody's feelings, because that is the last thing I would ever want somebody to think, is that I was not empathetic towards how drastically that change affected people's lives.
Dude, 31 minutes in, you are not. You have not been empathetic. You have not been empathetic.
Yeah.
Because I very much am. And like I said, I very much feel for it. I'm just also trying to explain all the different emotions that I had going with it.
I don't want to act like I haven't been empathetic, but I just want to make it clear all of the emotions that I've had going through this experience. Okay.
You sound like you don't understand at all. And I think that people want to know how you felt in it, because you're like, the face of BODi, but you aren't BODi corporate. You aren't BODi partner. And I think that, and also you've changed so many lives. I mean, all the people who come up who are excited to meet me, they met me because they love your programs, and they showed up to the program, and I was just like a fun little bonus. Not one of the bonuses that you do that I hate.
You hate.
So,
well, the other thing I want to say is that I know people are tuning in waiting to see if we address relationships that have changed. And that is not something that, besides what I'm saying right now, that is not something I will ever address or ever talk about. Yes, relationships have changed. That might be the most devastating part of it all for me.
Yeah.
But I won't ever talk.
The other ladies will talk about it, though. The other besties that she had who were top independent contractors with BODi that are no longer her besties. Yeah. Incredibly sad when you lose friends. That is more common than you think in multi-level marketing. More common than you think.
Talk about it because I can absolutely hold space for those relationships and what they meant to me at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't, and I won't say anything negative other than I have loved every moment, every person I've gotten to meet, every stage I've gotten to be on, every story I've gotten to hear. I'm grateful for it all. It all makes us who we are today. Does my heart break for things changing? Of course. But if people were tuning in for tea or gossip, sorry girls, you're not gonna get it you're not gonna get it from me. That's just not something. I just can't ever bash things that and people that meant the world to me for a decade.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you
when you were fat shaming them. Is that what they meant to you too? Okay.
saying that. I've said a couple times, I'm not talking about anyone I know.
Yeah. Trying to be very clear.
Because some people might say, oh, I've seen, and they're very clearly talking about, like,
right.
And it really, when that announcement came, there were people's faces I didn't know existed. I was seeing, say, wild things online, and I have not spoken about anyone that I know. But I am glad you said that, because I think I'm happy. I want people to realize that there are just some things that don't need to be drama, because it actually is. It was whatever, very important and very tender. And I think, like, I've never, I'm the kind of person, honestly, where I still wholeheartedly say that I love everyone I've dated. Because if you spend time with someone and if you love them, maybe it didn't work out, or maybe your lives came to a fork in the road and you had to go separate ways. But that person still was a big part of my life. And it's not just about respecting them. It's about respecting the part of me at that time.
Yeah.
So it's just onward and upward from here. But I have been getting so much for life personally from the challenge you and I have been doing.
So much.
It's so much fun. And it's it's the thing that I think people somehow in all the commotion thought was lost, that we get to say it's still here. The community, the support.
Can y'all fix your, in general, if anybody out there starts a podcast, can y'all just please get a handy person or have somebody in your house who's good at adjusting cabinet doors? Adjust your cabinet doors before you start a podcast. Okay, thanks.
Or the everything about it is still here.
Yeah.
And so it's been really good for me because it's hard.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, even the fears Nell and I had, you guys, we've talked about, Autumn and I are both from Ohio. When I signed my first lease in LA, I remember thinking, am I out of my mind? I might as well just move on the streets now. I can't afford this. And then like every time I would sign a lease, I'd be like, Autumn, but if shit goes bad, can I please see your house again? So when the news came and we were at the apartment and there was that fear, I'm happy to report, just like most fears that we have, our greatest fears didn't happen. Things are going great and we're keeping it moving. Yep. And Nell and I still go press play on BODi pretty much every day. So
I love that.
We're here for it. And, thriving in our new lease. So
I do love it. And I love everybody that is still here with us and still a part of the journey. And, this is the next chapter and I'm hopeful about it. Like, cautiously optimistic, I guess you could say, of like, great, this is where we're headed. Like, I'm always going to do what I said, which is my passion has and always will be to help people lead healthy, fulfilling lives. So I'm going to do that to the best of my ability, no matter what. I hope that one day there's live events of some kind, whether it's being put on by BODi or whether you and I are getting groups together, because I do, we did a Friends episode. I actually was thinking about this the other day. I have to say this. So yesterday I went down to El Segundo. There's a place called Love Life. From the guy who started Whole Foods. Oh. So it's like a whole wellness center. And I went to go tour it because I might want to sign up down there because like full on longevity, doctors, functional medicine, gym, cryotherapy, cold plunge, hyperbaric, like you name it, they have it. And as I was like touring the facility, because it's really big, and it was like, oh, and here's our yoga and Pilates studio. And then here's the Pilates reformers classes. And here's this. And I'm like, I might ask them if I can host a live one-off workout here, do an event. I mean, it wouldn't be for hundreds, we're in LA and it would be for like whoever would be in the area. But sometimes the hardest things open up new, beautiful opportunities that you might not have thought about, like without being forced into being more creative or being more resourceful or thinking ahead and planning more. So I'm looking at it from all of those angles. Like I have some things in the works that are outside of BODi that I'm really excited about. Like hopefully by the fall, there will be something launching that is a thing outside of BODi. I don't want to say what it is yet. But
okay.
You know what it is.
I know.
And I'm like, come on. I just want to get it done. But it's, business, it takes a long time. So yeah, I look forward to whatever the next chapter brings. And I do wish
she not doing
everybody,
BODi
no
anymore?
matter what people think, I really do wish success and happiness for everybody. I don't want to see anybody struggle. I don't want to see anybody fail. I want people to go out there and love life and live it big and bold and beautiful and happy in whatever way works for them.
Yeah. And I want to say too, because this was a little bit of a weepy podcast.
Sorry.
No, it's good actually. I was like, yes, this is good. This is good footage. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding, you guys. But on a serious note, this isn't mourning BODi. I still wholeheartedly love BODi, and BODi is still very much around. It's just that shift was a really big shift, and it did affect both of us emotionally. Mm-hmm. It caused us to face a lot of really big fears, to strategize differently, and also remind, like you said, no matter what, you're going to continue to, I forget your exact words, help people live a healthier life or
healthy, fulfilling life.
And so that is like leaning into what I can control, because there's some things that are just out of our control. But the things that I can is I'm going to show up for people just like I always have. And I know that you are. And I know that the thing that made me fall in love with fitness and this new lifestyle is still available to me. And that is, for me, that's found on BODi right now, the specific programs and all of that. So it's not that there's this sadness about BODi, but it's the complications and weight that I think we've kind of kept inside in ways that just pulls on some heartstrings.
Yeah. A little cathartic episode for us. Get it out, process some feelings. But yeah. And listen, I think the way that we have now, we actually just switched over. So we actually just switched from Impact over to something called Social Ladder for the affiliate program. And if people have ever thought about it or wanted to do it or or are doing BODi and are like, oh, well, I am telling my friends about it, so why not have a link? It is the easiest thing. Like I was like, oh, we should have started with this. But you don't know what you don't know until you try. Yeah. So BODi didn't know.
Trial and error. There's
tons of companies that use Impact. So they used Impact, and then there was some limitations that were getting frustrating. And so they switched over to this new platform called Social Ladder. We just switched over to it like 2 weeks ago. And it is so easy and anybody could sign up for it and you do as much as you want. So like if you love Energize and you're always drinking Energize and you're talking about it and you want to be able to send somebody a link, whether it's on a social media or just
Text.
in your regular life in text or whatever, like
do it.
Everybody's doing it, right? I'm watching people on Instagram. I'm watching people on TikTok. You know, they link everything. So it's one more way. Nobody's saying it has to be your main source of income or whatever. But if you love doing the programs, if you love the supplements, if you love the nutrition, the cookbooks, whatever it might be, like sign up.
Yeah.
You know, so many people when they started, even when they started as the network, right? Like people would say like, I just signed up because I needed to buy baby formula or diapers were expensive, or I just wanted to help contribute a little bit more to the groceries or whatever the household bill was. Like a lot of people when they first started, they weren't trying to become millionaires. They were just trying to make a little extra money.
Yeah.
And all I know is, Lord help these times that we're in right
these
now.
Streets, I could use a little extra
Use
money.
a little extra dollar here and there. I know I can.
You have a vacation home in Florida that's a multi-million-dollar vacation home. Do you need the extra dollars for what? Your Van Cleef ring on your finger or what?
And also, with all that said, if you don't want to be an affiliate, send your friends and family to the Everything's Perfect podcast Instagram. We have our affiliate link linked and we'll hook you up.
But you know what, Dee, let's drop in the show notes. This is not like a shameless plug, but I guess it's a shameless plug. If people want to sign up for an affiliate, let's drop in the show notes the link to do it. Because sometimes people might just be like, well, I don't know where to go. So we'll drop it in the show notes. Signing up has nothing to do with me or Donald. We don't get paid. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's all about you. Literally, you sign up, do what you want with it.
Yeah. And
put it there.
Also for new affiliates, BODi is very good about like they are in constant contacts and teaching. So you'll be supported if you're interested in it.
My face is so disgusting
And
right
we're
now.
always here if you have questions. You can email us at everythingsperfectpodcast.
So after all the tears, loss, and emotional chaos, we're ending on a sign-up link. After saying this was hard, disruptive, even traumatic, you're pitching a new thing like it's self-care. That's textbook MLM behavior. Collapse, spin, pitch. Should I be surprised? No. Was I surprised how much Autumn was focused on herself? No. Am I still frustrated? Yes. Yes, I am. Holy motherforking shirtballs. And that wraps up the BODi affiliate hype video from best version of yourself to unstoppable future. It's the same story, in my opinion. Rebranded MLM tactics, emotional manipulation, and income promises that don't hold up under FTC scrutiny. And we have to talk about Autumn Calabrese. She's trying to rewrite herself as the little guy's advocate now that BODi has gone affiliate. But this is the same woman who built her brand on toxic, no excuses culture, rigid food rules, and shaming narratives. Sorry, no. You don't get to rebrand without reckoning with everyone. Here's what stood out to me. Autumn saying that quitting means giving up on yourself. I don't agree. I think that's emotional manipulation. That's how people stay stuck in broken systems, and it's the same line Autumn used for years to keep people hustling. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to this quagmire of a podcast with Autumn and Donald. And remember that we don't drink the Kool-Aid, we analyze the ingredients. I hope you come back next time. I'll see you on the next either live stream or recorded videos, and deuces tons.